Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's live podcast of the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles Wildcard matchup. It's pretty unique to see these two teams together. You got the 7th-seeded Green Bay Packers going against the 2-seeded Philadelphia Eagles. It's incredible. You see the Packers, great season that they've had, especially great season on top of being in the same division as the Vikings and the Lions. Really, I don't believe that they should be a 7th seed. I feel like that they have more potential than what their seed says. I feel like that this game is going to be a lot closer than what people may think. And then you have Philadelphia, the great season that they've been able to have under Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley obviously hitting that 2,000-yard mark. But really unique to see them two, just quarterback and running back duo, just be able to play together in this game. But yeah, two teams really looking to advance their chances for the Super Bowl here. We remember that the Green Bay Packers actually defeated a 2-seeded team last year. They were the 7th seed, but they defeated a 2-seeded team last year in the playoffs, and that was the Dallas Cowboys. So first time ever done for that, but yeah, pretty unique to see this again for them in the 7th seed, and maybe they'll be able to do it again this time. So you got Jordan Love and just what he's been able to do with the franchise ever since Aaron Rodgers left. So, pretty unique. We will take a moment of silence as they play the national anthem. Great job on the national anthem there by the guy playing the saxophone. Pretty unique to hear the national anthem in that instrument. So yes, we have the Eagles with their record. I think they have 13 or 14 wins. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know the Packers have 11. Pretty unique to see these two teams together. Both teams obviously really trying to make a run for the Super Bowl. Jordan Love has been leading this team ever since Aaron Rodgers left, and he's been able to fill in his shoes pretty well. And then you have Jalen Hurts and the team that he's had and what they were able to do a couple of years ago, go to the Super Bowl. They'd lost to the Chiefs. They're hoping to probably get maybe even a rematch if Kansas City makes it to the Super Bowl, but if they don't, just trying to get their revenge and their Lombardi trophy. So, but yeah, they got to win here. They got to beat Green Bay, but if Green Bay wants any chance to move on, they got to go. They got to go win here in Philadelphia. So, and if Green Bay wins today, they will go on to play the Lions, the number 1 seed, in the divisional matchup next week, and that's gonna be very tricky. but it's a division rival, and those games typically turn out pretty well. Division teams typically play pretty well against each other. They know how each other plays, and they're able to change their gameplay because of it. So, yeah, it's going to be a great matchup today. I think it'll be pretty close. I'm rooting for Green Bay. It's always cool to see a seventh seed to beat a second seed, and to see the underdog get a win. So I do think that the Eagles have a better shot at winning this game, but I would prefer that the Packers do. So I think it'll be pretty close. Unlike the Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos game that was previously podcasted on this channel, I think it'll be closer. The Buffalo Bills beat the Broncos 31-7 today. Broncos came out strong in the first half there, and they just kind of lost their edge over the game, and the Buffalo Bills are able to get a win and move on to go play Lamar Jackson in the divisional round. So the AFC divisional rounds are set with the Baltimore Ravens playing the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Houston Texans. So I don't have a lot. There's not a lot figured out with the NFC yet, but that will hopefully get all figured out within today and tomorrow. And but yeah, first NFC playoff game is over here, and it'll either be Green Bay or Philadelphia coming out on top. So we should have some pretty unique plays, and it's gonna be interesting to see how Saquon Barkley plays against the Packers, and just what an incredible season he's had, having 2,000 plus yards, and he's just continuing to expand that here in this playoff run. So pretty unique there. It's pretty interesting to see him step out of that last game and really give credit to his offensive line, and just shows kind of what a humble guy he is, and the just the character that he has out on there on the field, and it speaks louder than any of his stats. So obviously I want him to continue to grow and get just some more stats and continue to grow into the running back that he's becoming. So obviously there's that highlight of Saquon Barkley hurdling the guy backwards. I think that's probably one of the main highlights of the 2024 to 2025 NFL season. And yeah, he's definitely a front runner for the MVP. Josh Allen just played really good, and him and Lamar Jackson and Saquon are all there in their top three for MVP. So I guess it'll probably come down to whoever makes the Super Bowl, whoever plays in the Super Bowl. That'll definitely help. So and all teams have a chance to do it. But one MVP will be eliminated either today or with the divisional rounds with Bills and Ravens. Here we go. Philadelphia is kicking off to Green Bay, and they are going to return it. Gets to about it was a fumble. The ball came out. He started running, and when he got tackled, the ball came out. They're trying to figure out whose it is. And it's the Eagles. Oh my goodness. Wow. Early falter from the Green Bay Packers. Early fumble off the kickoff. Wow. So now the Eagles are inside the Packers territory deep, and they're within scoring range. They're within field goal range, and then they're probably going to go here and score a touchdown. Wow, what an incredible play. Wow. And how that changes the game, too, because now the Green Bay Packers can't capitalize off of their return and go score, and they're going to have to kick off the ball for the second half. So that's crazy. That's pretty crazy. So here comes Jalen Hurts and his team, and they're going to get some good field advantage here and hopefully just get some early points. And now they're debating it because it looks like the Packers recovered it, and the Eagles may have ripped it out later. So the Packers may have a chance to get it back. But needless to say, what a great play by the special teams for the Eagles. a great tackle, great fumble, but it looks like it may have been recovered by Green Bay first. I think the Green Bay Packer has the ball. He is down. He has possession of the ball. And I think the Eagles may have stripped it away later. So he has possession and he is down. I think this will get overturned. I think that Green Bay has got possession back. I think he got it back. It's under booth review right now. What a great way to start the game for the Eagles, just to show their mentality and their physicality for this game. And Eagles are basically setting the tone, saying that they're not going to let a 7th team beat them. The ruling on the field stands. The Eagles will get the ball. What a great play. I don't know if I agree with the call, but wow, what an amazing job by the Eagles special teams. So Jalen Hurts and his crew will come out with great field position, and they're going to go and see if they can score here. Saquon Barkley in the backfield. And they hand it off. Barkley weaving around people. Breaks the tackle. He's within the 15. And he's down at about the 14 or 13 yard line. Wow, first down. He broke a tackle and spun away. And was able to get within the 15 yard line. Wow, the first 30 seconds of this game have been insane. Wow. They hand it off again to Barkley. Doesn't get anywhere. Packers get him down, maybe a gain of 1. They're at their 11-yard line, the Packers' 11-yard line. Hurts snaps it. Looks. Has a lot of time. Throws it. Touchdown. Eagles. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts threw it. Jahan Dotson touchdown. So the Eagles are up early. Well done. Way to set the tone for the game. He had a lot of time. His offensive line gave him a ton of time, which allowed the receiver to get open and him to have a great throw to him. Extra point is good. And Philly is up 7-0. Way to start the NFC wildcard race. It's impressive from the Eagles. It's a great way to show just how they want to set the game and how they want to control it. So great play. Packers really need to respond strong. But yeah, the Eagles are really showing who they are. And to start the game with Saquon Barkley handing it off, I mean, that's pretty cool. Especially just, it gives credit to who Saquon is and just the ability that, what he's been able to do for the Eagles this season. So, pretty unique to hand it off to him to start the playoffs. And, maybe he goes to the Super Bowl and wins MVP or something, and I think he would really deserve MVP of the season, and maybe even if he went to the Super Bowl, probably MVP of the Super Bowl as well. But, he could have beaten the record, and he didn't, and it's pretty surprising. And you look at like Jalen Hurts and the Eagles and how they've been. I mean, they were close to beating the Chiefs in that the couple Super Bowls ago, and then they just haven't had the success that they've wanted since then. You had the Niners go to the Super Bowl last year, and they're really looking for it this year. And I kind of believe that they could go. I think they'd be my second pick. I think that the Lions are pretty unstoppable right now. I think that they're at the top of their league and in the top of their game right now, and so I think that the Eagles will have a good shot at making the Super Bowl. I think that the Lions are definitely going to stand in their way, and I think it'll just be pretty unique. So, but the Eagles are going to kick it off here to the Packers, and Jordan Love's going to hop out and start driving down the field for his team. And it is really incredible what Jordan Love has been able to do with the Packers, because, Aaron Rodgers, just the legacy that he built at the Packers, and just with the franchise giving him a Super Bowl, and to try to go into that type of franchise and be better and give him what Aaron Rodgers was able to give him, that's nothing easy. And so for Jordan Love to do that and to build this franchise up over the last couple of years and lead them to the playoffs and really show them as a good team still without Aaron Rodgers, it's been pretty unique. And you look at like Aaron Rodgers and you see, his season didn't go so great with the Jets or whatever, and honestly, he might be retiring anytime soon. This might have been his last year, and so I think Packers fans are really grateful for Aaron Rodgers and all that he's been able to do for the Packers. Jordan Love has had 0 interceptions in the last 7 games, which is great for a quarterback. Packers got backed up a little far. There was a penalty that was kind of involved in it too. So here we go. Packers are going to start on their own 13-yard line. Jordan Love back. Snaps the ball, fakes the handoff, steps back, launches it downfield, almost intercepted by the Eagles. Oh my goodness! He has had 0 interceptions in the last 7 games, but he almost had one there. He threw it too high over his receiver, and one of the Eagles almost got it. Terrible way to start the game. First, you have a fumble on your kickoff return, and you almost throw an interception. They really need to step up their game here. I'll probably hand it off here. Yep, they hand it off. Running back goes. Gets about 2 yards. Somebody in the chat asked, who do I want to win this game? Probably the Packers. Like I said earlier, I think it's pretty cool to see a 7th seed and the underdog just go out there and win. And the Packers, I just love the franchise and what they've been able to do. One of the oldest teams in the NFL, and it's cool to see them play and compete at a high level. So probably the Packers is who I'd want to win this game. Jordan Love in shotgun formation, snaps the ball, steps back, almost gets sacked, escapes the pressure, steps back, launches, downfield. No one's over there. Out of bounds. 4th and 8. Packers are going to have to punt. So a really, really great start for the Eagles here, as they've been able to, get their footing in the kickoff return and get that fumble, and then go ahead and score from there and get a stop on defense. So great start for the Philadelphia Eagles. Denver got it. It was 4th and 8, and they got it. Are they going to do it here? Nope. Regular punt. Way downfield. Packers get him right away. Yeah, in the Broncos game, Denver, it was 4th and 8, and Denver went and threw a pass, and they got it at 4th and 8, and then they were unable to capitalize off of it, so it didn't really turn out to be anything, but pretty risky for Sean Payton to go ahead and test that in the postseason. And as you look at the rest of the NFC, you have the matchup between the Commanders and the Bucs, and just what Jaden Daniels has been able to do for the Commanders has been pretty unique. As a rookie quarterback, to be able to just go and to take his team to the postseason, as I think they're a number 5th or 6th seed. I mean, it's pretty unique, and it's pretty cool to be able to do that. I don't know if they will win. I think Jaden Daniels has been playing very, very well, but I don't know if he has the same experience as Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. The Bucs have been looking for a Super Bowl ever since Tom Brady left. So I think that they're going to play at their highest. I mean, you got to think about it. Baker Mayfield is one of the few quarterbacks in the league to have beaten the Lions. So, and that's not to say too much, but I think that he could. He will play well, and he plays well in the postseason, and I think he will play well against a rookie quarterback, and him and his team will. So, although I'd love to see a rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl. Jaden Daniels, a great guy. I think he would be really fun to watch throughout the postseason, but I want them to win. I think the Bucs will come out on top for that one. And then you have the Rams and the Vikings have just had an amazing season under Sam Darnold. It's incredible to see just his comeback story and all that he's been able to do. So him versus the Rams will be a great game to watch. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Rams are going to put their best foot forward, and they had a Super Bowl victory a couple years ago, and I think they're still looking for another one. So I think they're going to play their best, and I think I would want Vikings to win that one, and I think the Vikings will win that one. I think that's the first one that I believe that the one that I want will probably win that game. Vikings have just been playing very, very well. So if the Commanders or the Packers win today, they will go on. If the Packers win, the Packers will go on to play the Lions. If the Packers lose and the Commanders win, the Commanders will go on to play the Lions. But if they both lose and then the Vikings win, they will go on to play the Lions. Which, that last game, Vikings versus Lions, last game of the regular season, Dan Campbell was like, I'll see you in 2 weeks to the Vikings coach. And I think he very well could, and I think that would be a great game. Although I would prefer if... I think it would be cooler to see the Vikings and the Lions in the NFC Championship. I think that they'd play well. So, Eagles are back out on the field. 2nd down. Running back got about a yard on the gain. Talk about this offensive line. 3 of them are Pro Bowlers this year. So, it's pretty cool to see Saquon read it to these guys because they really do deserve it. And they really are some of the best offensive line in the league. A.J. Brown with the catch. 1st down, Eagles. Saquon gonna go, gets a couple yards. Yeah, you look at the Eagles team and what they've been able to do for their players and to build the team. You got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and you just have a lot of good players and a good offense. I think they have probably one of the best offenses in the league. Their defense is pretty good, but I think their offense is just playing at a caliber that many offenses just don't. I think the Packers are pretty equaled out between their offense and their defense. Maybe their offense is slightly better. But when you play against a team like this, I think the Eagles they have the right people and the right organization and coaching staff and all that to go ahead and win this game. So, third down for the Eagles. We've had two great catches by Eagles players, one by AJ Brown and another by a tight end. But just great handwork and footwork. 3rd and 5. Jalen's in shotgun formation. Eagles creeping deeper into Green Bay territory. Jalen Hurts, short throw to Saquon. Saquon sidesteps, gets tackled by a Green Bay Packer. Short of the line. Is 4th down, and the Eagles will most likely have to punt this one. And the Packers will get the ball back. So the Eagles will punt on 4th and 5. The Eagles have already forced a fumble on a return, so we'll see if they do it again here. Looks like that is going to go into the end zone. Green Bay is going to get the ball back here with 9 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Yeah, so if you get the Vikings to win, I would say Bucks win, and then I'd say Eagles win. Yeah, if that happens, and you have the Vikings go play on the Lions, and then the Eagles and the Bucks would play, and I think out of that you get a Lions-Eagles championship. But yeah, I would prefer a Lions-Vikings championship, but we will see. That would require either the Packers or the Commanders to win a game today. So I think out of those two, I think the Commanders have a better chance of winning. Not to say the Packers don't, but I just think that I think the Bucks are good, but I don't think that they are as top tier as I think if it came down to the Packers or the Bucks, I think the Packers would beat them. And so when the Packers are or when the Bucks are playing the Commanders, I think the Commanders have a good shot at beating them, but I think that the Bucks will still play pretty well. So I think the Super Bowl will probably come down to a Bills-Lions Super Bowl. Bills played very well today. They were able to basically shut out a defense that is top of the league. 31 unanswered points by Denver shows both the lack of performance from Denver's defense and their offense. And, that's just going to come with a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, especially on the offensive side. And even watching the game, it wasn't really as much Bo Nix's fault as it was his receivers. They were just not making the catches that they needed. But I think the Bills played phenomenal. And I think that Josh Allen and their running core were able to show that they're a Super Bowl team and they're ready to go to the Super Bowl. And I think Josh Allen really deserves it. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I think he deserves MVP. And that'll be interesting, that matchup between the previous MVP and another front runner, Lamar Jackson, and him go head-to-head next week. And it's just going to be a great game to watch. Packers have kind of struggled against against playoff teams, and so, they're just trickier records, so we'll see if they're able to hang on to this one here. Packers start on their own 20. Jordan Love has not thrown a completion yet. Hands it off. Josh Jacobs gets a couple yards. Tackled down at the 22. Got a couple Pro Bowlers on that Eagles defensive line there, and it's cool to see Vic Fangio be able to just build that up and kind of get his spot certified in the NFL, and just, with some of the struggles that he's had as coaching in Denver and for the Dolphins, and now he's here with the Eagles. And Packers player is hurt. He's up and walking. He's an offensive lineman, so that's going to be trickier against this Eagles defensive line here for Jordan Love. So they're out of the huddle. It's 2nd and 8 on the Packers 22. Jacobs in the backfield. Motion. Jordan Love snaps it. Steps back. Throws it. Quick catch. Short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down. Green Bay's got to start getting some momentum here if they want to stay on top of this game here. That definitely failed for Denver. They just were not able to convert and get first downs, which ultimately cost them the game. So Green Bay 3rd and 2. Receiver gets set. Jordan Love snaps it, throws it, quick throw, catch wide open, out of bounds. Kraft. First and 10 for the Packers. Motion. Handoff. Jacobs. A little bit of running room. Gets about 4 yards on the play. When you look at the Packers and just some of the struggles that they've had over their regular season, and that's not so much their struggles, but like the division that they're in. They're just playing in a really, really tough division. Both the NFC North and I'd say the AFC West are some of the toughest divisions in the league. Both divisions had 3 teams go to the playoffs, with the Packers and the Lions and the Vikings, and then in the AFC West was the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos, and now we know that the Chargers and Broncos are now out of the playoffs, and after losing some pretty rough games. Chiefs are still in it. Obviously, they secured the number 1 seed, but these Packers just have had to really face some difficult teams and within its own division, which makes it very hard to win games. So, if they continue on in the playoffs, they may have to face some of their division rivals, and that'll just make for some interesting playoffs and some good games. Jordan Love scrambling, in trouble, gets sacked back at the 30-yard line. Wow. Eagles defense came up, and that's 4th down. So now the Packers will have to punt. It was a great play. He seemed to be rolling out and finding somebody, but he had to escape, and he was about to throw. But right as he was about to throw, the defensive back was able to get his legs tangled up and trip him up. So the Packers are going to have to punt it at 4th and 17. Another deep punt. And it's going to get a run back. Eagles player is going to get to about the 30-yard line. Jordan Love had a elbow injury, so his sack, you got to be careful and keep him healthy. Commercials these days are not as fun as they used to be. Like, especially Super Bowl commercials, they used to be way more funny. Hopefully they're better this year. What do you guys think your Super Bowl picks are? Who's going to go to the Super Bowl? Who's going to win it? What's going to be the score? Those are always fun questions to answer. I know some people do some games where they have a bunch of questions based off the Super Bowl, and everybody puts in $1, and whoever wants to play. And it's just fun to kind of play around and guess at some stats. So Super Bowl is always fun to watch with friends and family, and it's a great little American holiday. It's gonna be cool to see It's gonna be cool to see flag football in the Olympics, and it's gonna be interesting to see if the Olympics will let NFL players play, and if they do, who they'll pick, and it's gonna be interesting to watch and to see what quarterbacks play and stuff like that. It's also gonna be interesting to see like how other countries do, especially with American football not really being like in other countries. It's an American sport, so it's gonna be interesting to see how other teams fare in that and how well they play. So, but it'll be fun to watch and might put a little football into the rest of the world. Saquon has just had a great year. Just watching his offensive line be able to push the defensive linemen around so that he can get gaps for his runs, and that's the main reason he's got 2,000 plus yards this season is his offensive line and just what they've been able to do for him. So, and you look at like Saquon Barkley and what he was like, some of the struggles that he had just on the Giants and not having really the team around him to reach his potential. Barkley on a long run here. Here he goes. He's down at around the 50. Great run by Saquon. But yeah, going back, he didn't have a lot of success in with the Giants because he didn't have really the team to build around. So he's able to kind of get that with the Eagles here, and he's really showing his full potential. And Saquon's just playing like an MVP. He is every yard that he gets looks like he makes it not only fun to watch, but like, oh, Jalen Hurts escapes from a defensive back. He's running. Wow, he's getting some yards. Got down to the 35. So like a 20-yard run from Saquon and another 20-yard run by Jalen Hurts. It's a great duo right there. Jalen Hurts can definitely use his legs when he needs to. Escapes the defensive back and got some yardage on the play. First and 10. 4 minutes left in the quarter. Saquon with Hurts in the backfield. Hurts snaps it, hands it off. Barkley weaves in and out. Gets a couple yards on the play. Jalen Hurts is perfect right now. He has not thrown an incompletion. You look at the Eagles coach and just what he's been able to do with this team, and just his record, with playoffs and leading the team to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and I think the Eagles are a team that is still very close to the Super Bowl, if not right there. And I think that they'll make it either this year or within the next 2 or 3 years. Short throw to Goddard. Couple yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and short. So 3rd and 3. The yards per play so far for the Packers are 1.4, and for the Eagles is 7.1. They're averaging about 7 yards per play, which is exactly how you want to come out and play this game. Hands it off. And the Eagles get the 1st down. So now the Eagles are almost within, almost in the red zone here. They're at about the 25. Hart snaps it, hands it off. And he gets about a couple yards on the play. If the Packers really want to get on top here, they gotta force them to just a field goal here and not get too far behind. Like I said earlier, the Broncos did the same thing today. They just, instead of holding them to field goals and holding them to 4th down, to bring them to 4th down, they just allowed them to get 1st downs and touchdowns, and that's why the Denver Broncos lost today. Great catch by Devontae Smith. 1st down for the Eagles. And they are officially within the red zone. Great play. Devontae Smith, obviously a Heisman Trophy winner. Great player for the Eagles. Was a rookie, I'm pretty sure, when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. So, great for him. Hurts snaps it, high pressure, just throws it out of bounds. Pressure came fast on that one. 35 seconds left in the quarter. That's Hurts' first incompletion of the day. Got 4 receivers out. Motion by Devontae Smith. Hurts snaps the ball. Steps back. Runs around in the pocket. Looks around. Escapes. Throws at the back corner of the end zone and out of bounds. 3rd and 10. $26 seconds left in the quarter. Play clock is running out. Hurts goes to snap it, steps back. Rush comes quick, throws it just to the ground. Incomplete pass. 4th and 10. So the Packers hold the Eagles to a field goal, and they're going to get the ball back with about 20 seconds on the clock here. Great defensive play by the Packers. They really need this against this high-tier offense. That's the type of stops that they need. Elliott gets it, and now it is 10-0. Eagles on top. So the Eagles are on top, 2 scores already. Great start to the first quarter for them. Packers really need to respond and get back on track here, and they won't have any chance to win this game. We saw a missed field goal earlier today. Will Lutz from the Broncos missed like a 50-yarder, hit the upright and got knocked out, and it's part of the reason Denver lost by so much. So they lost 31-7, and they would have been 31-10, which I guess doesn't make too much of a difference. It's still frustrating as a team. Elliott's going to kick it away here. And he kicks it away. The Packer is going to return it. He's got a little bit of space, kind of a spin move, and comes to the ground about the 30. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. So yeah, Packers really need to get at least a field goal off of this, if not a touchdown, if they want to keep their momentum here, and start the first half with something. Jordan Love is 2 for 4 today. He's going to hand it off. Jacobs is not going to get a lot on the play. He's still up. And gets down for about 3 yards. And that'll take us to the second quarter. 10-0. End of the first quarter. Packers really need to step up their game. I mean, you look at just some of the previous Packers and just where they've gone, and you had Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams were just a top duo back in the day with the Packers, and they're still together, which is kind of interesting. You know, Davante Adams went to the Raiders for a long time, and Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets and didn't play last season, obviously, because of his Achilles, and played this season and did not have as much success as he wanted, but there's a good possibility we probably won't see much more of Aaron Rodgers in the league, whether that be his retirement this year or whether or not he retires within the next season or two. So, but it's been a great run. He's had some incredible moments, some incredible Hail Marys especially for the Packers, but he's had already a couple with the Jets. So it's pretty cool to watch that and just be able to see his career. One day he'll probably be a Hall of Famer, and cool to see what he's been able to do. So I know a lot of Packers fans have a lot of respect for him and just him taking them to the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, and he just had a lot of success down in Green Bay. So it was a good run for him, and hopefully he can be able to continue his career and maybe make another Super Bowl run with the Jets or something. So, but I highly doubt that he has much more left in him. He's one of the older, if not the oldest, quarterbacks in the league right now. So he's definitely paid his dues, and he's been playing a long time. So I think he's like 38 years old. So yeah, we'll see how much more we got left in Aaron Rodgers. But definitely, it's hard not to think of the Packers and not think of Aaron Rodgers. So. Eagles fans are definitely excited to see their team back in the playoffs, and as they try to make a very good and possible run for the Super Bowl here. Time of possession for the Eagles, 9 minutes, 28 seconds. Packers, 5 minutes, 32 seconds. When watching the Bronco game, I think it was like a 30 minutes to 12 minutes time difference. Broncos only got about 12 minutes on the field, so that time differential is huge in this game and in determining how many scores you get and all that stuff. So you definitely, as an offense, want to stay out there as long as you can to give your defense a break, and as a defense, you want to... Oh my goodness, intercepted. Wow. Eagles intercepted off a long bomb from Jordan Love. Wow. And the Eagles are going to come back out on the field. What a great play. It looked like a drop from the Green Bay Packer, but the Eagle defender was able to strip it away and snag it. Wow. It was a deep throw by Jordan Love, and I thought it had a chance. But the defensive player for the Eagles was able to go away with the snag. And now the Eagles are down 10 points, or the Packers are down 10 points, and the Eagles are back on the field ready to drive down the field and score. This is not turning out as well as the Packers had hoped. So, Jordan Love almost had an interception to start a game. He has one here, and his 11-game streak is over now. Headed off to Saquon. Saquon gets a couple yards on the play. Jalen Hurts has been pretty accurate today. 6 of 9. But as this team, I mean, you can really just trust whoever you want. It's not doing great. You can hand it off to Saquon Barkley, and you can just trust him in the line to get first downs and scores. And if Saquon and the running team is not doing as great, if you have hurt linemen or something like that, you know you can trust your quarterback to get the throws out to good receivers. So, like I said, Eagles just have a very well-made offense. Jalen Hurts running, gets the first down at about the 35. There's a flag on the play. Illegal motion on the Eagles. So they're going to lose a couple yards on that play. There's Devontae Smith. Eagles coach is a little fed up about it. 2nd and 12 on the Eagles 20. Play clock is running out. Hurts snaps the ball, steps back. He's got pressure. Looks, throws. Intercepted by the Packers. Oh, it hit the ground. It looked like it had bounced off of an Eagle's hands and it had been intercepted by the Packers, but it had bounced off the ground. It's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 12. So the Packers got to get another stop here if they want to get their offense out on the field and get back into this game here. Eagles got 4 receivers. Hands it off to Saquon on a 3rd and 12. Saquon's going to get about 10 of that. About 9 of that, maybe. So 4th down. Eagles are going to have to punt it. It's kind of a dumb play to send Saquon out on 3rd and 12. I think you got to throw it on that, but 4th and 5. Maybe a fake punt? Nope. Oh, the play was blown dead. There's a flag on the play. False start on the Eagles, so that's going to get pushed back even further. And they're going to just punt it away. So they're going to repunt it on 4th and 10. deep punt. Packers going to have to step back to grab it. He's going to try to get the edge, and he might get it. He's got a lot of room. Gets to about the 45. Great return by the Packer. It's a great start to the NFC Wildcard weekend here, and we'll see how these other games play out and who we'll see in the divisionals. Speaking of which, I might be doing a divisional game next week, so tune into that. Thanks for tuning into today's game. We had a lot of success with the first game and a lot of people watching, so don't miss out. And remember, you can catch all the sports talk and scores and stats here on this channel. Make sure to like if you guys want to see more of these types of videos. Yeah, it's been fun to be able to do these games with y'all. You also look at like how the Packers, some of the players, like some of the running backs that have just kind of come and gone. You have Aaron Jones, who's now on the Vikings, and he's been able to just have success with them. But Josh Jacobs, who's on the Raiders, came here, and just a lot of mixing up between the Packers and the Raiders and Jets and just all these teams. A lot of players have just kind of come and gone. I remember when the Packers made it to the NFC Championship a couple years ago. That's when they had like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones. They had a stacked team, but not to say that they don't anymore. But I think that when you have Aaron Rodgers and it's just a different team back then, and I think a lot of that has just kind of disappeared, and not just because coaches didn't want them or whatever, but I just think that even the players are just not. When you don't have that success, when you aren't seeing the results of any success, Packers made it to that NFC Championship, but they didn't win it. It's hard to keep that momentum going into the next season and stuff like that. So I think that's why the Packers have done what they've done to, draft Jordan Love even when they still had Aaron Rodgers, and to draft him and to bring in other guys and basically provide the Packers with where they're at. So 1st and 10 Packers on their 43. Jordan Love hands it off. Josh Jacobs doesn't get far. They're going to need to definitely come away with some points here if they want to be anywhere close to being up at half or even just tied. So the Packers played the Eagles week 1, and you have a rematch here. Jordan Love, short throw. 1st down. So the Packers finally get a 1st down and are looking to capitalize off of that. Total yards so far, the Eagles have 114, and the Packers have like 24. Josh Jacobs going to get the call again, gets about 5 yards on the play. February, and going to play out this weekend and next weekend who gets to go and eventually to the AFC and NFC championships. Second and 5, play clock is running out. Motion. Jordan Love hands it off to Josh Jacobs. He's going to go. He's about 1 yard short of the first down. And I'm kind of surprised that the Packers aren't throwing it more. I mean, obviously, Jordan Love has kind of not had too much success with that lately, and in this game, he's already thrown a pick, almost thrown two. But you can't rely completely on your running back to win the game. I mean, the Bills did the majority of their running game was today against the Broncos, but towards the end of the game, they had to get Josh Allen in there and start using him because your run game will only... Oh, trick play. Tight end comes over, snaps the ball, first down. He's still going. Wow, they're pushing him. He's inside the 30. Wow. Great trick play by the Packers. That was Kraft. He came over in motion and snapped the ball and went for it. He went around, and Jordan Love and the rest of the team pushed him past the 30-yard line. Great offensive power by the offense there. So they're definitely within field goal range. Jordan Love snaps the ball, steps back, throws it. Great catch. Gain of about 5 by Jaden Reed. About 9 minutes left in the second half or second quarter. We will take a break for this halftime, and I will take a break, and I will be back at second half. Second and 6. On the Eagles' 29. Packers are driving. They hand it off to Jacob. Jacob gets tackled in the back down to the 30. Loss of about 10 or about 6 yards. And this is where I'm going. You have to stop running the football as much as you are right now because your running back is getting tired and you got to start throwing it at some point because now you're in a 3rd and 12 situation and you got to come away with some points on this drive, preferably a touchdown. So 3rd and 12. Receivers get set. Play clock's running down. Jordan Love snaps it, steps back. He's going to run it. He's got to run. He's close. Oh, he gets close. He's about 1 yard short. He reached out at the last second, so he may have gotten it. It's a great play, great run by Jordan Love. Space opened up in the field and broke a tackle and reached forward, but I think his knee was short. His knee was down about a yard short. 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. He's in shotgun. Play clock's running down. They run the same play. The tight end gets it, snaps it, goes for it. First down. That's the second time they did it. I'm going to call that the tight end sneak. You got the tush push from the Eagles and the tight end sneak from the Packers. Great job by the tight end, and the Packers drive continues. I think they're within the red zone here. Yes, they are on the 17-yard line. Play clock is running out. They got to snap the ball. Love throws it. Oh, got tipped away. Great defense by the Eagles. There's a flag on the play, though. There's a flag on GreenBay. Ineligible player downfield. And then the backup corner for the Eagles is able to tip it away. almost intercepted it. Second down. Sorry, 1st and 15. They are now outside of the red zone, 23-yard line. Hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs, with a little backward step, gets about 6 on the play. All players are out on the sides. Jordan Love is by himself in shotgun. Play clock is running out. Motion. Jordan Love steps back. Short throw. Tackle by the Eagles. Wow, what a great play. He threw a short pass to Kraft, and the Eagles player came up and got him. Third and 13. The Eagles player who tackled him is a little hurt. He's up on his feet, but he's going to walk to the sideline. But man, he made a great tackle. Loss of yards. So it's 3rd and 13 around the red zone 20-yard line of the Eagles. So yeah, Packers got to come away with some points here, preferably a touchdown, especially as we have 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So this half is running out, and Green Bay really needs to step up their game if they want to have any chance to win this and win the battle in the next half. So Jordan Love, once again, all by himself, shotgun, trying to draw, snaps the ball, steps back. He's in trouble, rolls around, throws it, out of bounds, which means it's 4th and 13, and looks like the kicking unit will come out for the Packers. Brandon McManus, who was previously with the Broncos, is going to kick this field goal for the Packers. And man, Jordan Love missed a couple of throws on there. Kraft was wide open in the end zone. Brandon McManus has only missed 1 field goal this year, and now he has missed 2. Wow. First postseason miss of his career. Brandon McManus misses the field goal. What a surprise. He's usually so accurate. So close. So it remains 10-0. Some of that broadcaster curse right there. So, Packers don't come away with any points, which means that the Eagles will maintain their 2-score lead pretty much going into the half, because there's only 5 minutes left in the second quarter. They'll probably run the majority of that out, if not all of it. And if they don't run all of it out, it's because they probably scored. So they could potentially have a 3-score lead going into half, which is exactly what you want for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Packers, the locker room at halftime is going to have to talk about offense and just the receivers getting open and helping out their quarterback, and then defense trying to find a way to stop those short plays that turn into big plays, you know? Saquon does those short little throws to Saquon, and that turn into big 7-10 yard gains. So there's a lot that needs to be discussed, and for the Eagles, you're probably going to talk about how you need to just be able to attack more aggressively their defense and maybe even look towards going downfield a bit more. So, and then as a defensive coordinator for the Eagles, you got to be pretty content with what you've been able to do. So yeah, you just got to tell your defense to continue to play as aggressive as they are, and get picks. They've almost had 2 this game, so. So much like the Broncos-Bills game, 2 Broncos kickers have now missed a field goal today. Brandon McManus was a previous Bronco kicker, and he missed his field goal, and Will Lutz missed his. And it remains a 10-0 game. Just a rough start for the Packers here. You got that fumble on the kickoff return, the missed kick, the interception, thing after thing after thing. And now Dean on the defensive side of the Eagles is going to be carted off the field. Eagles back out. Gonna fake the handoff. Jalen Hurts running around, scrambling. Looks, runs into his offensive lineman and falls down. That looked like the Jets play when he ran into his butt and fell down. So they're going to lose some yards on the play. But the time continues to run down. So 2nd and 13. Looks like the same exact play. Players are in the same position. Play clock's running out. Hurts snaps the ball, fakes the handoff, steps back, rolls the other direction, directs traffic, and just throws it out of bounds. But there's going to be a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be on the defense. Holding on the offense. The penalty was declined, which makes it 3rd down. So instead of 3rd and 23, 3rd and 13, you get a stop here. Packers can maybe drive down the field again and hopefully get a score. It would have been 2nd and 18 if it had been if they had accepted the penalty. But they're going to keep it at 3rd and 13. Hurts snaps it, waits in the pocket, now starts running forward. He's going to run for it and gets to about the 35. He is about 3 yards short of the first down. 4th down and 3. And it looks like the punting unit will come on. Slay is going to return for the Eagles. He had an injury, but he looks okay. So 4th and 4 is almost fake punt territory. They could very well do it, but they're not. They're going to punt it. So one of the Eagles pushed a Green Bay Packer into the catcher, but the ball was out of bounds. So 10-0, Packers get the ball back with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left. They got to capitalize on this drive, and they really got to score some points because they're not going to, they need to have some progress going into the half, some momentum to keep them alive, because if they don't score in this first half, they're never going to get that momentum to get going, and they're never going to be able to win this game. So if they get some points on the board here, they can maybe get a stop on the Eagles when they get the ball back, and maybe score again and start getting into a rhythm here. So this game is far from over, but Packers definitely need to improve what they're playing here out on the field. So So, depending on whoever loses this game, it's going to be interesting, like, what that talks about for the post or for this off season here, for whether it's the Eagles who lose, or the Packers. You kind of look at what they need in the draft, and I'd say for the Packers, you're going to need some serious defensive players if you really want to build a good defense. Your offense has been built pretty well, but you're going to need some wide receivers and some defensive players to really spark your team and get your offense into a good rhythm, and your defense into good stops so that you can start scoring. And then you have but yeah, and then for the Eagles, you look at what they need. Yes, they have a great offense. They have most of the people that they need. They have their running back. They have their quarterback. They have their receivers. Maybe you look for maybe one more receiver or something like that. But you have your tight ends and stuff like that. And then for defense, you're going to want probably some more secondary and defensive backs. And yeah, just I think both teams could really use defensive players. Right now, the Eagles defense has been playing pretty well, and I think the Eagles are pretty squared away. So the Packers have about 3.5 minutes to work with to get down the field and hopefully get some points on the board. So Jordan Love has not been super accurate today. So the Packers get a couple yards on the play due to a penalty on the punt. Jordan Love surveys, snaps it, takes a step back, throws it short to Jacobs. Jacobs, stiff arms, gets back to the line of scrimmage. There's a flag on the play. And if you're Green Bay, this had better not be against you if you want to get moving in the right direction. And it is against Green Bay. It's a holding call. So it's still a first down. But it's going to be 1st and 20. And they are pretty far back in their own territory. So they're on their 17-yard line. Jordan Love steps back, throws it to a Packer, and he's got yards. He's got the first down. That's Reed. Great job by Jaden Reed. Wow. So the play clock, or the clock continues to run. We're under 3 minutes. Reed broke 2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 tackles, and finally got pushed out of bounds, but got the first down, got a full 20 yards on that play. Great job by Reed. So now the Packers are almost within the 40-yard line. Hand it off to Jacobs. Now they're within the 40-yard line. They're at about their 45. Another flag on the play. And it's another hold on the Packers, which is going to move them back another 10 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 20 again with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left on the clock. So, 1st and 20 from the 27. Too loud. Play clock is running out. The 2-minute warning has officially come. 2 minutes left in this half. Eagles lead the Packers 10-0. If they score on this drive, they continue to keep their chances within reach. But if they don't score, and especially with the Eagles getting the kickoff return for the second half, and it's gonna be pretty tricky to come back on that if the Eagles score. So, got to make sure to score on this drive. So, and just a reminder, we will be taking a break at the halftime, and we will return for the second half. Once again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate the support. Like if you guys want to. Go ahead and like the video if you guys want to continue to see more content like this. I'm hoping to continue to upload shorts and content, and I just appreciate the subscribers and all those people who have been watching. So, yeah, and for the Eagles, everything's going the way that they want right now. Their coach has got to be happy with just how they've been playing, and their offense had just, they haven't got scoring a couple in a little bit, but they got 10 points on the board, and the other team doesn't have any points, so you got to be happy with that. And you kind of look and you hope for the Packers to be able to come into next year, and depending on what the Lions and the Vikings are doing, whether the Vikings keep Sam Darnold or move on and start using J.J. McCarthy. And as the Packers, you got to be proud of where you've come and what you've done for this season in the regular season, and your record being 11-6. I mean, that's a great record in a team, and that really should earn you a spot higher than the 7th seed, but unfortunately it doesn't. And for the Packers, you got to go into this next season as kind of thinking like, well, what can we do to beat these teams that have been playing very well in our division? So, and in any other division, this would probably be they'd probably clinch the division, and they'd probably be a 4 seed. But they just play in a tough division, and they're just not going to get that this year. So, but yeah, it's a tough division. Same with the AFC West, tough division, and each of these teams have got to find ways to get the players and the coaches and all that stuff, Lord, or that they need to set up a team that's able to succeed in those divisions. So. All right, Packers are on their own 40. Jordan Love snaps it, takes a step back, throws it. Gets a couple yards, gets probably about 5 yards on play, and that's Brooks. They are rushing now. They got about 1:40 left on the play clock, all 3 timeouts. It's 3rd and 3. Jordan Love slows it down. Finds his players what they got to do. Snaps the ball. Looks to his right, throws. And Dobbs catches the football for the first down. They got all 3 timeouts left. They got about a minute left in the half. They're moving at hustle speed now. They're within Eagle territory. They're moving quick now. 50 seconds. Snaps the ball. Steps back. Eagles. He gets rid of it. And he intercepts it. They're saying it's an incomplete pass. The pressure came fast for Jordan Love, and he had to throw it away. But an Eagle got in front of it, and it looked very close to an interception. But they're saying it was an incomplete pass. .45 seconds left on the clock, 2nd and 10. And the Packers are on the 52-yard line. Takes a step back. Throws it. Intercepted. And this one is for sure. The Eagles are going to go down a little bit further and out of bounds. So the Packers will not come away with any points in this half, most likely. With only 36 seconds left in the half, the Eagles are going to get the ball back. And if I were the Eagles, I'm going to go try to score here. I'm going to go try, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, I'm going to go try and get some more points on the board and maybe get a triple lead. You could technically get a triple lead on this team before the second half even starts. And the only problem with that play was that Kraft stumbled, and so he wasn't able to get to the route in time, and it turned into a pick. 6 seconds left. Philly has all 3 timeouts, 1st and 10, and they're going to shoot for some points here. So the Eagles are on the 55-yard line. They hand it off to Barkley. Barkley gets to about the 40. They call timeout. 31 seconds left on the clock. "28 days from the Super Bowl. I will likely not be doing a live podcast for the Super Bowl, but I may do a video explaining some of the stats and who I think will win and all that stuff too. So make sure to tune in for that. And yeah, make sure to keep watching my channel, guys, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And I really appreciate the support, and I will continue to try to make as great of content as I can for y'all. And I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to do it. So 2nd and 4, Eagles on the 39 of the Packers. Hurts steps back, goes long, and got knocked down by Williams. So the Packers get a stop on this play. Kind of a pass interference by Williams, but no catch. 3rd and 4, 26 seconds left. Eagles still have 2 timeouts. Play clock's running out. Hurts snaps the ball, steps back, throws it, and throws it to the ground. 4th and 4, 22 seconds left. So as the Eagles, obviously, I would probably go for this if you want to get a chance for the touchdown, but also if you want to get in field goal range, or at least better field goal range. Because right now they're on the Packers 40, which is out of range. So 4th and 4. And there's some motion. There's a flag down. It's either on the Eagles or the false start on the Eagles, which pushes them even further back, which means it's 4th and 5. Which is kind of weird because Dallas Goedert was doing motion. It wasn't a false start, it was motion. Which makes it 4th and 9, which means that the Eagles have to punt it. Which means that the Eagles will still only maintain a two-score lead. So the Eagles punt it. Fair catch. Catches it at about the 10-yard line. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers just kneel down and take this to halftime. So 14 seconds left, 1st and 10, and it looks like they're probably just going to send this to the half, but we'll see what play that they do. Yep, they're just probably going to kneel it down here. So the Packers are not going to get the second half kickoff. The Eagles will. And yeah, we will see you guys the second half. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We're back for the second half of the matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. At halftime, the Philadelphia Eagles led the Packers 10-0, and surprisingly, the Packers held the Eagles within 10 points, despite the fact that the Packers have had 3 turnovers this game. So, it's possible that the Packers could definitely come back from this. Packers have been known to be a second half defense, and not second half defense, but just a second half team. So they could definitely make the run here. Now it also is kind of tricky for the Packers, being that the Eagles get their second half kickoff on top of their 10-point lead. So if the Eagles capitalize off of this the second half here and getting the kickoff and get a touchdown or something like that, it's gonna be a lot harder for Jordan Love and crew to pull out of that. So we'll see. And here we go. Packers kick it off. And the Eagles are going to run it. He's not going to get a lot of yards. He's going to get to about the 25. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts have been playing pretty well today. Jalen has not had a lot of throwing yards, but Saquon has also been helping with getting yards, and Jalen Hurts was able to throw a touchdown earlier in this game. This is the first time that the Packers have been shut out in a game, except for last year against the Broncos. So, at least in the first half. So, we will see. We will see if the Packers can come back from this. They hand it off to Saquon. Saquon's going to get about 4 yards on the play. So yeah, obviously the Packers need to just step up defensively. I mean, especially against Barkley and stuff like that. Start playing more defensively, start getting these 3-and-outs and turnovers and stuff like that, and start getting the ball back. Their offense has not been doing very good. 2 interceptions from Jordan Love, 0 touchdowns, and they just need to get into a better rhythm here. Saquon Barkley gets the first down here. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Yeah, and then the Eagles obviously just need to continue to put together drives and drive down the field and score. So, and then their defense just needs to keep making plays. If they can, keep getting interceptions and turnovers. So, Eagles snap the ball. Hurts hands it off. Saquon spin move, and he gets short of the line of scrimmage. So Saquon loses a couple yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Hurts steps back. He's got a lot of time in the pocket. Now he's going to get pressured, and he's sacked even further. So it's going to be 3rd and a mile for the Philadelphia Eagles. Great play by defense, by Green Bay's defense, and way to get to the quarterback. He had a lot of time. I'm surprised he didn't get rid of the ball, which is good coverage by Green Bay. So overall, great defense by the Packers here. Hurts snaps it, hands it off to Barkley on 3rd and 19. I don't know why they've done this twice now, where they've handed it off to Barkley on like 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 19, and it makes no sense because obviously you're trying to go for the first down, and when it's 3rd and 19, you're never gonna get that from a running back unless your defense, the other defense, is just really not trying. So poor play in my opinion. But 4th and 19, the Eagles are going to kick it off to the Packers here. It's a great start for the Packers to get a defensive stop, and hopefully they can capitalize off of it. What a great punt. He had to step backwards like 10 yards. He does not have a lot of room to run. He's going to get dropped behind the 20-yard line at about the 11. So the Packers on their own 11 are going to have to get down and start scoring here. Obviously, you're going to want to try to get a touchdown here. Keep it from being a 2 or a 3-score game. So in the Eagles, you got to be disappointed. You have your 10-0 lead here, and you want to come out on top, especially with receiving the second half kickoff. But quick 4-and-out. Your offensive line did not do enough. Saquon lost yards. You got a sack on Hurts, and then Saquon, you run it again with Saquon, which and then he doesn't really get anything out of that. So that's got to be pretty frustrating. As if you're an Eagles fan, if you're an Eagles coach, you got to be like, you would expect more to come out of halftime with the lead and with the kickoff return and everything. So great stop for Green Bay. Could have done way better from the Eagles. So, and this is the type of stuff that will determine games. The first half is, unless a team is really, really up and playing just phenomenally in the first half, a game's not over, especially with the second half on the line. So there's a lot of game to be played, and the Packers could definitely still make their run for this. So, and like I said, if the Packers win this game, they go on to play the Lions in the divisional round, and then obviously the Philadelphia Eagles would be knocked out of the playoffs, and then whoever's the winner in both the Vikings and Rams game and the Commanders and Bucks game would go on to play each other as well in the other divisional game. So, and you look at just the Packers being able to, as a 7th seed, beat a 2nd seed last year, ever do that. They've got to have that in the back of their mind going, hey, we've done this before. We can do this. The Eagles probably aren't thinking too much about that. They probably think they have this in the bag, or at least that's what you would hope the Packers are thinking about, is the fact that the Eagles may think that they have this in the bag. And, you got to capitalize off of that as the Packers. You want to really just build off of that and go, hey, we've done this before. We can do it again. We are a good playoff team. The only reason we're in the 7th seed is because of our division, which is a tough division. So they really need to really capitalize off of that momentum. Packers are on their 11-yard line. Jordan Love snaps it, hands it off to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs gets to about the 23-yard line, 24. It's a good run by Josh Jacobs. They haven't had a lot of success with the run game so far in this game, but great run by Josh Jacobs there. Packers on the 23. Jordan Love hands it off to Josh Jacobs again. Josh Jacobs sidesteps and gains about 2 yards on the play. So it'll be 3rd down. So the Packers need to get this first down if they want to continue this drive and start heading towards the end zone. Third and 2. Play clock is running out. Love snaps it, steps back, surveys, throws it to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs gets about 15 on the play. First down. Great throw there by Love. And this is the rhythm that the Packers really needed to come out into the second half with. This rhythm of, okay, we're going to get down the field. We're going to put ourselves in a good situation to get third and short so that we can convert that and continue to drive down the field, make plays, and eventually score points. They're doing that incredibly well. Jordan Love, short pass to Kraft, about 5 yards on the gain. And especially with knowing that the Packers have been a fourth quarter or second half defense, or not just defense, but just a team, they're showing that right now. The offense is playing very clean. They're getting first downs. They're moving down the field very well. The defense came out, put a great stop on the Eagles' offense, and right now the Packers are moving in the right direction. Jordan snaps it, hands it off. Not Jacobs. Looks like Wilson for the Packers running back gets tackled. Maybe gets a yard. 3rd and 4. So they're on their own 41. Jordan Love in shotgun. Play clock's running down, steps back, looks, blitz coming, throws it, and he throws and he catches and it's caught. It's caught. Great play by Wicks. Amazing job. They are now deep into the Eagles' territory. Great play by Jordan Love. In pressure, stepped back and just threw it to his right. And Wicks was there to pull up the snag at about the 30-yard line. Great play by the Packers. So they're at the Eagles 30. 2 backs in the field. Motion. Love snaps. Fake handoff. Real handoff. Josh Jacobs going. Gets about 6 or 7 on the play. Great momentum here for the Packers. If they can keep this, they can definitely make this a closer game. 2nd and 3. You got 4 receivers. Snaps it, takes a step back, rolls to his left, throws it. Almost intercepted. Threw it into double coverage. And it looks like we might have a hurt Packer. There's also a flag on the play, and the Packers holding. So they're going to lose yardage and possibly lose a player here. Love threw it into double coverage, and Dobbs was not able to come up with it. Instead, he is hurt in the end zone right now. So, yeah, like I was saying, just great momentum for the Packers here. This is exactly the way that they want to be going here in the second half. You get a great stop on defense. You start driving down the field. You're obviously within field goal range. You're making your way towards the end zone here. And, you have a great opportunity to go score and make this back to a one-score game. So, if they can keep this momentum, continue to get stops on defense, they can definitely pull out a win on this game. The Eagles kind of have not had the momentum that they've wanted. Their defense is playing a little sloppy right now. Obviously, their offense did not get the yards and the momentum that they wanted. But hopefully they can do that with this next drive here and maybe try to put this game in the bag. So. That's a bummer for the Packers too, to lose Dobbs on that play. You want to keep him in the game. He's a great receiver, and you want him to be available for Jordan Love, especially with the tight Eagles defense and just them being able to get to the quarterback quickly. You want to have options for Jordan Love to throw to. So that's a bummer if they're going to lose him. Hopefully he's okay. And for the Eagles, I mean, you got to be looking into this game going, this is like, obviously it's the playoffs and every game is a must-win game, but like this is a very must-win game because you're about to lose to a 7th seed as a number 2 seed. Like, as the Eagles, you have to believe that you are a Super Bowl team. Right now, we have a lot of Packers out on the field as Dobbs slowly gets up. He's got that Guardian cap on his helmet, and I wonder if the injury is part of that. He came down really hard and kind of hit the back of his head pretty hard. So the majority of the Packers team is over there looking at him, and he is getting slow to get up. He's sitting upright right now, but it's probably just a poor head injury for him. But yeah, as the Eagles, you want to go, okay, because as the Eagles, you believe you're a Super Bowl team. And I think most teams obviously would say that they believe that. But the Eagles having the season that they're having and being where they're at right now as a number 2 seed, honestly, out of all the teams in the playoffs, they're really the only ones that could really compete against the Lions on the NFC side. And so for them, they're like, we really need to win it. Like, they should be winning this game with flying colors a little bit. And I say that in partial belief because I know that the Packers also have a great team. And like I said before, the only reason they're a 7th seed is because of the division that they're in. But as Eagles, you got to be able to beat 11 and 6 teams. Maybe not easily, but you should still be able to win the game strong and be able to come out next week even stronger. So right now, the momentum shift is in the favor of the Packers, and the Eagles just really need to focus on getting that momentum back in their own home court. So. And as GreenBay, if you can come in here as a 7 seed team and win at your opponent's home, that's great, and that's great momentum for going into the rest of the playoffs too. Dobbs is up and walking, but very, very slowly. And we're back to the game. 5 receivers out. Jordan Love in the back by himself. On the 42, steps back, throws it. It is tipped at the line.